Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. In this video today, guys, we're diving into the world of Polkadot and to take a look at the most recent price action of DOT. As we get into this video, guys, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here. Right, with this said, done and out of the way, let's dive into this technical analysis on Polkadot. So this is a brief update. We like to do these every few days or so to make sure that we're aware of any kind of recent price changes and any new formations within the chart data. We are now talking about moving up 470%. The price target hasn't changed, but obviously with the current price action, we do have a different starting position. So right now we are talking about the $177 price target. That is the 4.236 extension. So again, a nice little kind of blow to the top side here, I do see in the future. And everything on this weekly chart's not too bad either. We can see that the stochastic is overbought, and again, this is an area that we could be in for quite a few months. And this is where we're going to start seeing a lot of traction. But in order for that to happen, we do first of all have to take out some key areas on this chart. Okay, so for the most part for Polkadot, it's been performing really well. And back over here in, I think May, we actually had the high getting set at $49. We have the low down here during that kind of correction wave, which actually was around the 19th of July. And basically using that high and that low, that gets us to that 177 price prediction here for Polkadot. Now, on that journey, we obviously do need to go above the 786. This is really where we're going to start to see the big bull move to the upside. That's the bull flag that we're looking for overall. But for the most part, the structure still stands. Nothing moves up in straight lines, so you can see these corrections in weeks. We can obviously see one in the middle here, which is perfectly fine. This is around our yellow box area here. Okay, this is basically a Fibonacci retracement area using a high point and a low point, that kind of gives us an indication that this was a good surging point. Now, we did find rejection at the 618, and we'll get into that in a moment. And obviously, Bitcoin's pullback did take us down quite significantly, but things have been progressing quite nicely from there. Right now, overall, this weekly chart is looking pretty good, and we should continue the growth to the upside for the next several weeks to months, right? Because we talk about 470%, that is not 470% in 24 to 48 hours. That is 470% by the end of the bull run. Okay, that's what we're looking at. This is not a get rich quick. This is a nice, slow and steady, although much faster than some of these other spaces like the metal markets or the stock market, for example. This is where you see volatility in both sides. You see volatility to the upside, but you also see volatility to the downside. This is where you make your money in the crypto space, right? So nothing moves up in straight lines. These are nice, healthy corrections. 470% is what we see. $177 by the end of the bull run, which we anticipate to be around kind of the December, early 2022. Okay, so around that. Timing is the hardest thing to gauge, but 777 is a nice price target that resonates well with the 4.236 extension of the Fibonacci retracement areas. Now, when we jump down into our daily view, we get the bigger picture as to what's been going on most recently here with Polkadot. Okay, so what we can do is we can see that this is the high point, and the low point was, if I just bring this up down here, for our area here, this yellow box area. Okay, so this is where we were fighting quite a bit. We can see that here before we had the break to the upside. Now we're fighting against this one. Okay, so this is the main 618 area, which is coming in at a pretty modest $34.81. Okay, so that's the first battle that we were finding, and we were lining up ready to try to tackle that before Bitcoin pulled us down into the lower area. From here, though, we have had a good traction back to the upside. We're oversold on this daily chart. So again, loads of room to grow now to the upside overall, and we'll be taking out the previous high of $49 probably within the next few weeks, I would have felt, depending on the rest of the market. If Bitcoin does decide to really go back down again, then ultimately as a result of that, then Polkadot will also fall. But with that being said, if Bitcoin does behave itself, and it's an interesting one, it is lining up in kind of in an interesting move already for Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does have a surge, then we should start to see a nice steady flow back to the upside here for Polkadot, and potentially take out that $49 as the first kind of previous high point for us. So loads of potential here on this daily chart for Polkadot. Nothing really shouting out to me as alarming. We obviously are against resistance right now with where we are. And let's actually jump down into our hourly, right? This is where we start to see a little bit more of the clarity. over what has been going on. Okay, so we were tracking nicely to the upside, as I said, getting into that 618, getting the rejection. The rejection brought us all the way back down below our first yellow box area, and then we started to track to the upside on this trend line. Okay, this trend line is an interesting one. I really want to point this out. This is a low point. Okay, so Bitcoin pulled us down to a low. We then went to a new higher low, and then more higher lows, and so forth, right? So if we continue this journey to the upside, and now we're consolidating around our $31.21 support line just here. If we continue this journey, then we are going to continue on our way up towards our 618 area, okay, the previous rejection point. What gets caused here is basically this triangular wedge where we look for that break to the upside. So as long as everything behaves itself, and we should start to see a good push to the upside as we find resistance and we have a good upward trend. Now with Polkadot, we are oversold on the hourly, and so we are looking for an explosion growth today. In the next 24 hours, we should start to see a nice good move to the upside here, as long as we get good sentiment with our volume. So the volumes have dropped down whilst we're correcting sideways. We want to grow that volume in the next 24 hours. In doing so, we should be up back towards our yellow box area here of this 618 area of the Fibonacci retracement zone. So again, this comes in quite nicely around that kind of $34 range. So what's what we're looking for? We're looking to kind of push up here now to try to take this area out. Okay, I would imagine that we'll probably get rejected from the 618, retest our support line of our trend, and then go back up and try to take out the 702 from there. Okay, so we're not talking about things kind of happening instantaneously. We're not mooning in one day, but we are taking out key levels and several, key points on the charts every few days or so, every week, and we work our way up gradually. A nice healthy way to see these nice healthy corrections that take us from the overbought area over here to an oversold area without doing any damages to the price, or a good correction like this one, for example, and that basically allows us to then continue the growth from where we were to new highs, etc. Now, there was a bit of resistance up here, and we want to note this, that it's about $32.69 is an interesting area that we will probably find a bit of sticking point, but then we should be hopefully up towards that 618 area. Overall, Polkadot on this hourly chart is looking very good, very tidy. We should start to see pretty good growth to the upside here for Polkadot in the next sort of 24 to 48 hours, according to what we're taking a look at here on this technical data for Polkadot. Now, timing is the hardest thing to gauge, but they've got a nice triangular wedge here that kind of comes together by the 16th of September, and getting above this area of the 786 is absolutely key here for Polkadot. It's going to be the big bull signal that takes it to the next level, and it's really what we want to be targeting overall. Okay, so getting the closed candle up there ahead of basically going into price discovery. Now, on that price discovery note, the 1.618 comes in at $74, the 2.618 comes in at $113, the 3.618 comes in at $153, and like I said at the beginning of the video, the 4.236 comes in at $177. So lots of price discovery on the horizon here for Polkadot. Everything is definitely heating up nicely now as we start to move back to the upside in this good recovery as we enter this fifth wave to the upside. Guys, this is my brief update on Polkadot. Hopefully you have found it useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then do subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.